Hello friends, it's Tim here again from Mayhem to bring you another bit of quick game information and maybe a little bit of game hacking action. Released for the Nintendo Entertainment System in December 1991, Barbie was met with some pretty harsh feedback from the gaming community as a whole, and seemingly for a pretty good reason, especially if you witnessed my Let's Play of the game. This game is so boring, and Barbie looks like a chicken nugget in the intro screen for some reason. For those of you that don't know, Barbie is a platforming game where you play as the Queen herself, and work your way through different platforming levels that are known as Barbie's Dreams. Yeah, Barbie couldn't even be awake herself for the game. It's a pretty weird kind of platforming puzzle type game that involves you navigating through each level / dream whilst you are trying to keep your Z meter from falling, which would of course wake Barbie from her slumber and force you to start the level over or even reset the game. Literal nightmare fuel. The enemy design is pretty lackluster, with obstacles being pretty mundane things like tennis rackets, pizza, water, and even popcorn for some strange reason. The only thing that this game really had going for it was that you are able to control animals to do your bidding, which unfortunately didn't turn out as cool as one may think, especially when fighting bosses like a pair of pants and a shirt, or just an inflatable ball coming out of a vent. Admittedly, it is pretty cool that a toucan brings you a dress at one point, but yikes, who was this game meant for? Fashion aficionados? Wannabe vets? Hardcore gamers? I don't know. Despite it being a somewhat obvious cash grab and an attempt to get girls into video games by Mattel, some reviewers managed to see past this somehow. A quote by GameFreaks365 said the game was much more interesting than you'd probably think. The pink, cute label art displaying the classic doll in the 90s regalia doesn't stare you down as something with any sort of depth. But once you actually start to play it, you find there's quite a bit going on in this little platformer. But other reviewers like Sean Baby, who writes for OneUp.com and other gaming websites, ranked the game as number 6 on his top 20 worst Nintendo games list. Sean was gracious enough to add that its placement was not just because he's a boy, but this game really sucks. So that kinda puts the game in its place, I think. I wouldn't want to play it again, that's for sure. This round plus my Let's Play was plenty of Barbie action for me. Anyway, if we put all of this aside for a moment and you do want to play the game for some reason, are there actually any Game Genie codes worth exploring for it? Well, only a couple, but let's have a look at them anyway. The first code is SXKSKNVK, which gives you an infinite amount of Z's on your dream meter. Ugh, this is as lame as it sounds, but if you want to try and pass the game, this is probably the most handy code for it, as your Z meter is essentially your life meter. Now you can do your best to speedrun this beast, as nothing will hurt you and you can live your best life. I think I just died a little by saying that. This is pretty much invincibility, but the game is so slow and uneventful anyway, that you may as well play it in vanilla mode, without the Game Genie. The only other useful code I could find is the 3-line giant, IEXXSLGA plus AOXXVLAL plus KOXXKUOY. And well, the most charitable thing I can say about this code is that it at least looks funny. When you use this Game Genie code, you can essentially fly. Yes, in a Barbie game you can fly. Basically, if you hold down the jump button, you just zoom off to the top of the screen where you can just bypass all the enemies. And yes, I use the term enemies pretty loosely, but it is pretty funny to see just a pair of legs hovering across the top of the screen. And that's about it. I can't believe I played this game again. Somehow I didn't learn my lesson from the first time around. This game is so boring, even as a mermaid, which is about as far as I got. If you want a pro tip, don't bother with this game at all. I'm actually pretty sorry I put you through this, so I'm going to leave it at that now. I need to take a shower or call my therapist or something. So that's it for today, my friends. I'll catch you in the next one.